Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Grace Quealy about Clickbait, available now on Netflix. Thank you for doing this. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's very exciting.
It is exciting. The show kind of drops on Netflix. We see a trailer for it. We don't really know what's going on. We know there's kind of some whodunit, what's happening, who did a component. But then everyone got to see it. From your perspective, obviously working on the show, kind of knowing what happens, what was your reaction when people finally got a chance to see it?
It's been such a long journey because I thought I had the role end of 2019.
Yeah.
So we started to film end of 2019. We had 2 episodes to go when Australia went into lockdown for COVID. And then finally it's all come out. So for some, it was just sort of reminding myself what the show was about, really, because it had been a year since I'd read the script for the last few episodes.
I think that's the big thing about being a storyteller and an actor, Grace, is sometimes, you know, you work on a project, and then you kind of play the waiting game in terms of like when it's actually going to come out. And sometimes, depending on like the craziness of like productions and distribution, you could probably be waiting like 3 years for a project to come out.
Completely. Yeah. Which I'm sort of used to, but my family are the ones that are going, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? Are you actually in it? When is it? When's it coming out? I'm like, shh, calm.
So the show films in Australia.
Yep.
And
they did some external shots in Oakland.
It's external, absolutely. What was like, can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, how did it basically, like, did you find out, you and your team find out that, you know, Netflix drama being shot in Australia? Like, how did it come to be? Did Netflix pick it up after? Like, how did the show come to be for you?
So Tony Ayres, the creator, he is Australian, and he did The Slap, which was Australian to begin with, and then they made an American version. So we sort of knew him. He's an amazing creator, writer, and so he pitched the story first. There was a bidding war. Netflix bought it off Tony Ayres. And then auditioned for it. I actually auditioned for Jenny's character. So they split Jenny's character into 2, into Tara and Jenny.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I got it and had no idea for about 4 months, and I wasn't sure whether I'd be having to play volleyball. So I was like, do I need to go and like learn how to play volleyball? What do I need to do? So yeah, it was good. It was just
Jenny Jenny was the other volleyball player, right?
Yeah.
Kind of throws everyone under the bus a little bit.
I know. What?
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah.
I know. It was that first scene that I did in the cafe, because the whole sort of story was the lines changed in the day, but it was sort of like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I didn't know what I was talking about. No one had told me what my story was.
Yeah.
All I knew was, you don't know what you're talking about. So they turned up and the director's like, do you actually know what your backstory is? I was like, no, I have no idea. I'm just here. And he told me the opposite, the wrong thing.
Oh, wow.
Which was a bit of a throw.
That's like, interesting.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
People are going to see the show. I mean, Tara, you know, doesn't have as much screen time as other characters in the show, but when there is screen time, it's like really important. Like that's why I'm very interested in that character, because that's a very interesting, important character for all the pivots and things that happen in the story that people are going to see. And it makes it like more memorable. Now, have you noticed that a little bit too? Like people have probably been reaching out. I mean, Netflix available in 190 countries. I mean, Tara is a very key character in the show. Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's my sort of first big character acting role. And the response has been phenomenal. I mean, it's such a small amount of screen time, but it is such an important character. And that's what I loved about it, was being able to do my own sort of backstory and working through it. Because it's really important. I mean, you know, sending people's nudes out and things like that's a huge problem. I mean, and no one really knows what to do with it. So I felt a bit of not a burden, but I really wanted to be able to express that, just how terrible that situation is. And absolutely. I mean, you could do a whole episode on Tara.
You can, definitely. I think I think Clickbait, and it's not necessarily a horror, like it's not categorized as a horror show, it's a thriller drama, but it is one of the scariest shows on television because it is real. Like things like that happen. Like it's scary. You know what I mean? Is it safe to say that those are the type of things now that are getting a lot of attention from, you know, actors and script writers, these stories that are so real and so impactful rather than kind of, you know, the fantasy worlds, which we love, right? But this is, although it seems like it's a bit over the top with, you know, the trailers and everything with Adrian Grenier, I mean, this is pretty scary. This is some real stuff. Like, obviously, we're not going to the spoilers, but this is some pretty realistic stuff that's going on.
I think it ties into our addiction with true crime, right?
Yeah.
Like, people are obsessed with true crime podcasts and true crime documentaries. And it sort of has that feel to it, right? Because it does have that kind of like, this could happen. And it's all about our addictions to things. It's our like, and how would you be able to not watch a video that says if this gets 5 million views, that someone will die? Mm-hmm. Do you actually have the willpower to not do that? So it completely plays on our own obsessions, our own addictions. And I think it's ironic that then this show about that comes out and people binge it in a second. You know?
That is very true. Also, I really think this show is like, you need to, like, I've been recommended to all my family and friends. They all watch it and they loved it. You have to go in fresh. Like, it's very, like, it's better when you go in not knowing anything. Like,
completely. And because it's, I mean, the first episode's huge, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
better
kind of, it's what you expect the entire show to be about.
Yeah.
And it's like,
clicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's crazy. When you were reading, was there a moment when you were like reading the script and you were doing your lines where you were like, kind of like, wow, like this is pretty heavy stuff? Like, was there any of those moments for you in the cast? Like while you were shooting it? Or are you just in the zone kind of just doing your thing?
Well, I mean, personally for my scene, I was waiting so long to find out what was actually going on. And because I had been told the opposite thing in the previous scene, when I got it, I was like, oh, okay. And it ends with, Tara breaks down crying. I was going, okay, all right. Obviously, as an actor, you're like, okay. And we filmed it at 7 a.m. So I had to get there that early. But because the ending is so incredible, I didn't have that final script until the table read. So we were sitting down going through it. And because I'm not in episode 8 much, I was just sitting there going, what's going to happen? It was amazing. So I just got to have a first-hand experience. It was like watching a play and getting to see it all unfold and going, what? Because only a few people knew. Like I know I was speaking to Betty Gabriel, who plays the wife, and she's like, do you know who it is? I was like, no. She goes, I do. I was like, tell me.
I didn't see it coming at all. Like I had no idea. Like we're not gonna get into spoilers or anything, but like I had no idea. And then
everyone on set wanted to know. Everyone was like, "Do you reckon it's this, or do you think it's this? What do you think's happening?" Like makeup artists, everyone's going, "What do you think's going on?"
And it's tough to do interviews like this because you obviously want to talk about things. And there's some people that do interviews where they like say like spoiler, they go into it. I don't really want to do that. People need to watch it because it really is that like wow moment. Tara's a pretty interesting situation, I feel like, for an actor because, like I said, not a lot of screen time, but a very important role. Is that exciting for you and a challenge when you're kind of you're told, like this character doesn't maybe have that much screen time, but this is a pretty important key character for the whole storyline. It's almost like a challenge for an actor because it's like it's your time to shine a little bit, right?
Well, you've got, I think I feel for... guest stars or people who come in like who just do what Guy did, like sort of one scene, because you have to give an entire sort of backstory and propel the story with 5 minutes. Yeah. Whereas you haven't got, and also if you have a bad day, that's done. If you're a main character and you have one bad day of filming, you can regain it with the subsequent days. Mm-hmm. You got to be on. You got to hit it. It's kind of like pro. It was incredible working.
It's like pro wrestling too. When they're in like they're doing a match, they got like 8 minutes to wow the crowd. Completely. It's true. It's a good example. I'm sorry.
No, it is completely. You got to come in there and smash it, and hope that you get the response that you are looking for.
You said this was like one of your first kind of like big like major roles as an actor. Yeah. When it comes out, obviously there's going to be different feelings like when you rap. And then now the feelings you're getting lately where it's like, oh, the people could see it. Are you kind of just like, bring on the next project? Like, is it motivating you now to like work on another?
Well, Well, I think when I first got it, my team was very excited. Obviously, they're like, it's because I just signed with my agent and we got Netflix and was like, great, this is happening. And then the world locked down for 2 years. It was like,
Yeah.
So it was just like, as the momentum was starting and we're like, hey, great, it's going to come out. We can keep going. Things just do turn for the worse. And I'm in Melbourne and it's still really bad lockdown here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just sort of sitting around my apartment going, come on, let's do this.
Absolutely. Besides acting, people that follow you on Instagram, because people watch the show, they see like Tara, and then they're like, oh, Grace Quealy, and then they follow you. Like, that's the thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
You're also into art and everything. It's all storytelling, so to speak. Do you basically, were you hoping that was going to happen, that you were going to be able to do a lot of different things when you were kind of older, like the acting, the art, like like, why limit yourself, right?
Completely. I'm studying law as well at the moment, so
nice.
just doing lots of different things.
Wearing many
I
hats.
was always like that. Yeah. I just want to try different things. But it's really exciting. I actually deleted my Instagram at the start of the year during lockdown because of everyone's obsession. I was like, everyone's just locked into Instagram. I can't do this anymore.
Instagram like really took over. Like it did. Like all the other social medias were around. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I guess I'm just not going to do this. So I deleted it in a very rash move. And now, of course, everyone's like, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Your Netflix show comes out and you've deleted your Instagram. But no, it's incredible. The response has been amazing. And I just love being able to do other things as well. Because as an actor, you're sitting around waiting for someone to give you a job.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, it's a crazy world. That's really cool about you studying law. You're studying law currently right now?
Yeah.
There's a lot of online courses because it's still locked down over there, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm at Melbourne Uni, which is one of the main universities here, but we have to do it online now, which is fine. It's just a lot of reading and things, but it keeps me entertained.
So your life is very busy right now, doing interviews for Clickbait, a show you did like 2 years ago. That's now law school. Like, bring it on, right?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been really cool.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been great.
Absolutely. So people can watch Clickbait now on Netflix. It's streaming. That's another thing too. Is it blow your mind that people like it drops on Netflix and then 190 countries have an opportunity to see you as Tara in Clickbait? It's pretty crazy.
I was having messages like a few hours after it dropped, and I was going, I'm at episode 7. Have you finished it already? Like, yeah, finished it. It's like, people are incredible. And also now it's number 1 in Australia. It was number 1 in the US for a while. I'm not sure where it's at now, but
now I'm going to be honest with you. I found out afterwards, but like I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like I didn't realize it was like Australian show. Like I didn't realize it was.
That's what we love to hear. That's good.
Like I didn't realize it at all. And then I was kind of Googling stuff and Australian, but I had no idea. So that's good. That's awesome. And now that your Instagram is back, where can people follow you on your Instagram?
Grace Quealy. That's where I'm at on Instagram.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Petey Beats and Grace Quealy from Clickbait signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.